Hey friends, if you enjoy real-life stories that touch your heart, make you smile, and keep you curious until the very end, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. My name is Anjali. I'm 32 years old, and I live in a small town area near a village. I've been married for 10 years. But even after all this time, my husband and I still don't have children. My husband travels a lot for business, which means most days I'm at home by myself. And even though I'm used to it, loneliness has a way of making the smallest moments feel bigger than they really are. I'm a very simple, traditional woman, long black hair, wheatish skin, and a naturally curvy body, more like the women you see in villages, not the city. People sometimes judge you just by looking at you, and they create their own stories in their minds. But I never cared much about that. I've always tried to live with dignity, focus on my home, and keep my life peaceful. This story is about my nephew, Raju. To be clear, he isn't my sister's son. He is the son of my husband's distant relative, but in our culture, we still call him Nephew. Raju was 22 years old at the time. He had just finished college and came to the city to prepare for job exams. One day, his mother called me and asked if he could stay with me for a few months. She said I lived alone most of the time anyway, and it would be good for both of us. I agreed because, honestly, I liked the idea of having someone in the house, someone to talk to, someone to share meals with, someone to make the home feel alive again. When Raju arrived, I went to the train station to pick him up. The moment I saw him, I realized he had grown up. He was tall, confident, and still carried that innocent village energy. He smiled at me and said I hadn't changed at all, and that I still had the same glow on my face. I laughed, but deep inside, I also noticed something else. His words didn't sound like the way a small boy talks to his auntie. They sounded like the way a young man talks to a woman. When we got home, I showed him his room. It was right next to mine. I told him he could stay comfortably and not worry about anything. From the very first day, Raju started helping around the house. He offered to make tea, cut vegetables, clean up, and even organize things. At first, I thought he was just being respectful and supportive. But slowly, his compliments started becoming unusual. He would comment on my hands, my voice, my cooking, and even the way I looked. Sometimes he would stand too close. Sometimes his words felt like they carried a hidden meaning. And every time that happened, I would tell myself I was overthinking. I kept reminding myself that he was family and I was a married woman. As the days passed, it became more obvious that something was different. He would show me clothes online and suggest outfits that were not my style at all. He would say things like, "This would look amazing on you," or "This would really show your figure." He even started telling me about dreams where I was in them. Then he would quickly laugh and say it was like a family trip. But the way he said it, it didn't feel innocent. One day, he suggested we do yoga together at home. I agreed because I thought it was a healthy idea. But while doing yoga, he kept trying to correct my posture by touching my back, my shoulders, and my waist. He would say things like, "You're so flexible," or "You're still so young." I started feeling uncomfortable, but I didn't want to make things awkward. I tried to keep my distance and act normal. Then he started practicing job interviews with me. He asked me to play the role of the interviewer. It started out normal, but after a while, his questions turned personal. He would ask things that didn't belong in any interview. I would laugh it off and tell him to focus. But deep down, I knew he was pushing limits, little by little. In the evenings, we would sit and watch TV. Sometimes a romantic scene would come on, and he would comment on it. He would say things like, "Don't you ever feel lonely?" Or, "Uncle is away most of the time," or, "You're still young." Hearing him say those things made me uncomfortable. I tried to shut it down politely. I told him to focus on his future and stop thinking about nonsense. But his tone kept getting bolder, like he was testing how far he could go. One day, we were cleaning the small garden behind my house. It was hot outside, and we were both sweating. I noticed him looking at me again and again. At one point, he tried to wipe sweat from my face with his handkerchief. His hand touched my cheek for a moment, and I froze. I immediately stepped back and told him I could do it myself. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just friendly behavior. Something else was happening. After that, his behavior became more direct. He started commenting on my fragrance when I came out after a shower. He would stand behind me while I cooked and guide my hands while making rotis. He would say, "Don't be shy, Auntie. I'm family." But the way he said the word family didn't feel comforting. It felt like he was using it as an excuse. One night, during a small prayer at home, he came behind me and tried to help. For a second, my sari palu slipped. I fixed it quickly, but I noticed him staring. He called me beautiful and said I looked like a goddess. That night, he finally said something that shocked me. He told me he liked me, not like an auntie, but like a woman. I felt my entire body go cold. I got angry and told him clearly that what he was saying was wrong. I reminded him that I was married and that I was his auntie. I walked away and locked myself in my room. That night, I barely slept. My mind was racing. I kept thinking, what if he loses control? What if something happens? What will I do? The next morning, the house felt tense. Raju came and apologized. He said he was just joking and that he didn't mean it. I wanted to believe him, but I couldn't fully relax anymore. After that, every conversation felt suspicious. Every smile felt like it carried something hidden. Sometimes he would ask me to dance with him. Sometimes he would try to hold my hand. Once, his hand moved toward my waist, and I stepped away immediately. He laughed and told me I was too sensitive, but I knew it wasn't a joke. After about a month, my husband finally came home. The moment he arrived, Raju's behavior changed completely. He became respectful, quiet, and distant. He acted like nothing had ever happened. The three of us sat together, ate dinner, and talked like a normal family. My husband even asked him if he was comfortable staying with us, and Raju thanked him and said I had taken great care of him. But even then, I noticed that sometimes his eyes still looked at me in a way I didn't like. And then the real twist happened. One day, Raju came to me and said he had something important to share. He told me he was in love with a girl back in the village. He said he wanted to marry her, but he was scared to tell his family. He asked me for advice. I was shocked. I didn't understand how this connected to everything that had happened. Then he explained the truth. He said that he had never been truly trying to cross the line with me. He said he was confused, nervous, and inexperienced. He had never had a real relationship. He didn't know how to talk to a girl, how to compliment her, how to build confidence, or how to express his feelings. He said he had been practicing around me because I was the only woman he felt safe talking to. He said that staying with me helped him become confident, and he wanted to learn how to speak in a way that would impress the girl he truly loved. When he said that, everything suddenly made sense. The strange compliments, the awkward conversations, the emotional closeness. He was using all of it like practice. Not in the right way, not in a mature way, but in the way a young man tries to learn when he doesn't know any better. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because I finally felt relief. I told him that he should never behave like that again with any woman, especially not with family. I also told him that if he truly loved that girl, he should be honest and respectful. Later, I told my husband, and together we helped Raju talk to his family. Eventually, his marriage was fixed, and he married the girl he loved. Today, Raju is married and happy. He has a normal life with his wife, and our family relationship is normal again. And whenever I think back to that time, I realize something. Sometimes, life makes you think a story is going in one direction. But in the end, the truth is something completely different. That's what makes real-life stories so surprising. So, friends, if you like this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone who enjoys real stories with a twist. Thank you so much for watching.